Hello guys, this is your friend and we are back with a new fanfic. Which is What If Naruto Became Hinata's Unexpected Husband Part 1. And if you enjoy this fanfic then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. And now start the fanfic. Hyuga Hinata lay on the floor of the Hyuga family dojo, panting and totally exhausted. Her coat had long since been removed and now bruises and closed tenketsu showed clearly, a stark contrast to her porcelain pale skin. Hinata, get up, Neji hissed at her. He had been the only family member to not beat her up when he sparred with her, trying to give her a chance to show off her new skills and custom jutsu, which would hopefully impress the clan elders. It hadn't worked, she was too injured and chakra depleted to pull them off. She could tell by the looks on the elders' faces that they knew Neji had softened his blows. He would pay for that later. What would Naruto do? The thought flashed through her mind. Remembering how her crush fought on, even when his back was against a wall and it seemed certain that he would lose, Hinata was finally able to summon her remaining strength and stand up on her feet again. I won't give up. I refuse to. Even if it doesn't impress the clan elders or my father, I will feel better because I have taken a step in the right direction. Enough. One of the elders called out. We are finished evaluating your performance, Hinata. Wash your face and we will send a messenger for you when we have made our decision. The clan elders filed out of the dojo, Hiyashi being the last to leave. You have improved measurably, daughter, he whispered, your stamina is impressive, being able to spar with 3 members of our clan back to back without stopping. Good job, Neji, I wish you had been the first to fight her. You gave her the chance to show her skills, unlike her other opponents. He left, leaving Hinata and Neji alone. You definitely impressed your father, Neji said, trying to reassure his cousin. That is a good sign. The rest of the elders didn't look impressed. It's because I failed to take Hanabi down when her side was wide open. Is it weakness to not want to hurt my little sister? I am disgusted by all of the bickering and fighting in the clan. I don't want to make it worse by injuring my closest family members. Neji sighed. He was as well, but his hands were tied. Hinata was the only one who had the power to change their clan right now, with her position as the heiress. But that might change after tonight with the decision of the clan elders. The two of them washed their faces and headed to the hallway outside of the elders' council chambers. Neji would be accompanying Hinata, outwardly as her protector, but secretly for moral support. Ever since Naruto had literally beaten the sense into him during the Chunin exams, he had become Hinata's closest friend and confidant inside of the Hyuga compound. After 40 minutes, the door opened and an elder gestured for them to come inside. Hyuga Hinata, it is the decision of this council that, despite the improvements you have made, your skills are not at the level expected of the next head of the Hyuga clan. You are, as of today, stripped of your position and title as clan heiress. Hyuga Hanabi will now carry the position and title. Hinata took a deep breath to steady her nerves, and what is to be my new position? Will you brand me with the caged bird seal and place me in the branch house? No, that will not be your fate. You have 2 choices before you, Hinata, her paternal grandmother, Hyuga Haruka explained. What are they? On your 14th birthday, you will be branded with the caged bird seal and betrothed to Yamada Taro, a nobleman in the land of fire, and married to him on your 15th birthday. I know that name, Neji hissed, he is 3 years older than your father. No, I don't want to be married to someone older than my father. I want to marry someone my age, preferably with blonde hair and blue eyes. Keeping her face composed, Hinata resolutely asked, what is my other choice? Hiyashi spoke up, if there is a ninja in this village willing to be bonded to you, you must be married by the end of the month, and you will not be branded. However, this must be a true marriage, not some name-only thing to protect you. If he divorces you, you will automatically be branded and end up in the Hyuga branch house, never to marry again. Another condition is that you must be carrying your husband's child by your 16th birthday, unless either one of you is proven to be infertile, and it is signed off by a proven and competent medical ninja. Married within a month. What kind of choices are these? Neji hotly demanded. You forget your place, Neji, Haruka said, her tone gently warning her grandson. My place is to protect Hinata. I don't care if she isn't the clan heiress anymore. This isn't much of a choice Hinata has. Can't she at least have until her 14th birthday? Why does she only have a month? To prove her dedication to Konoha and her chosen profession as a kunoichi, another elder, Hyuga Masato said. If she wants to stay here and remain a shinobi, she has to show it. If there are any ninja in this village who would be willing to be saddled with a talentless, worthless kunoichi such as yourself, Hyuga Norio sneered at Hinata. Hinata gulped, but stood her ground. I am not worthless, she quietly stated. I am a kunoichi of Konoha who has completed several successful missions. We are finished here, Hiyashi announced. Everyone, except for Hinata and Neji, leave. All of the council members filed out of the room. When the room was finally empty, Hiyashi turned to the two young genin. I tried to give you more time, Hinata, but the elders wouldn't hear of it. Many of them say you are too gentle and kind-hearted, like your mother, which is inappropriate of the future clan head. And have they forgotten that Hitomi Basan was a member of the most successful two-man team the Anbu Black Ops has ever had? Neji replied. Kitsune and Raven, Hinata nodded. Kasen showed me their masks when I was little. Kitsune was her best friend, in addition to being her teammate. What happened to Kitsune? Neji asked, sounding curious. He had heard the name, but had no clue to Kitsune's fate. All he knew was that he had never met her, not even at Hitomi's funeral. She died the night the Kyuubi attacked, both her and her husband. What is Kitsune's real name, Otusan? Hiyashi pulled a photo album out of his desk that was pushed against the wall and handed it to the two. He opened it up to a team picture that was missing the sensei and pointed to the red-haired girl with a katana strapped to her back. This is her, the katana mistress of Konoha, Red Whirlpool, and the top prankster this village has ever seen, until the appearance of your friend, Naruto. Haruka poked her head back inside. Hiyashi, we need to inform Hanabi of this new development. Hiyashi-sama, Neji spoke up, Hinata-sama and I wish to do some intense training as well as take care of some personal business. May we have permission to leave the compound for a week's time? Yes, as long as you stay within the village walls. You may keep the photo album, Hinata. I have many more memories of your mother than you do, so I think you need it more. Good luck, you too. Once Hiyashi had left, Hinata found a photo with just the red-haired girl. Pulling it out of its protective sleeve, she saw her mother's elegant script on the back and began to read out loud. This is my best friend and teammate, Uzumaki Kushina. Birthplace, the now destroyed Uzugakure no Sato. Age at time of picture, 11. Rank, genin though she insists not for long. Favorite food, ramen. Hobbies, pulling pranks, training, and annoying the guys, especially the top ninja of our year, Namikaze Minato. Nindo, never give up, and do my best to protect my friends, so they don't know the pain I went through when my family was killed. Kushina's entire family was killed and her original village was destroyed by Iwa Ninja when she was 8 years old. Uzumaki. Neji breathed in disbelief. Favorite food is ramen, and her hobbies are pranking and training, Hinata whispered. She flipped the picture over again and studied the girl closely. There it was. She has the same smile as Naruto-kun, well, one of his real smiles, not his fake ones. How can it be? I don't think it is a coincidence, Neji mused, also studying the picture, trying to confirm his cousin's words. She must be Naruto-kun's mother. They have similar personality traits and Nindo, some similar features, and the same last name. Hinata blurted out excitedly, which was highly unusual for her. She was very tired and sore, along with having a massive, migraine-level headache, so she wasn't acting like herself. The fact she found a connection between herself and her crush also helped. I have an idea, Hinata, Neji said, that just might get you with the one you like, and foil the elder's little plot for you. I just need you to do one thing for me in return. What? Neji-Nisan, don't tell anyone I played matchmaker between you and Naruto. I do have a reputation I need to keep up. He sighed. Grab the album and pack a few things. Then we'll go to the store and find Naruto. Do you mind cooking dinner for 4 people tonight? Tenten has offered to let me crash at her home whenever I get fed up with the clan, so we can stay with her for the week. I just hope she'll let us use the kitchen tonight. This could be interesting. Uzumaki Naruto was finished with a day of hard training. He was starving and his frog wallet was full, meaning he was headed for Ichiraku's. He wasn't thinking about much, other than his stomach and wondering when Ero Sennin would get back and take him on his training trip. Naruto. He turned around to see Neji and Hinata walking towards him. Hey, Neji, Hinata, what's up? Nothing much, Neji replied. How are you doing? I just finished up training and I'm going to Ichiraku's for dinner. NN Naruto-kun, we were wondering if you would like to eat with Neji-Nisan and me tonight. I'll be making dinner, but if it tastes terrible, I'll make up for it by buying you lunch tomorrow at Ichiraku's, Hinata asked. Naruto was stunned. She barely stuttered and wasn't turning red. Maybe Hinata wasn't sick today. C-C consider it to be my apology for hitting you on that mission to recover the chest. Ah, it's no big deal, Hinata. Sakura hits me all the time, no matter what the reason is. Hinata stiffened. That's not right. She's your teammate, she should only be hit you when you are sparring, no other time. If Shino and I hit Kiba every time he did something stupid, he wouldn't be able to help with missions most of the time. Let me guess, she never hit Sasuke. Yeah, you're right about her never hitting Sasuke, Naruto replied, a little dumbfounded by Hinata's outburst. Even Neji was looking a little stunned. Maybe I overdid it with that pep talk, the Hyuga genius thought and then shook his head. This is a step in the right direction. I just need Naruto to agree to have dinner with us. He needs to get to know Hinata better. I wish Tenten wasn't eating out with her parents tonight, we can't use her kitchen. Naruto, do you want to eat with us? Neji rather pointedly asked. Sure. You are a good cook, Hinata. Will we be eating at your home? Actually, we were wondering if we could eat at yours, Neji said. We are having some problems with our clan right now and thought it would be best if we cleared out of there for a week. Do you mind? No, but my apartment is a bit of a mess right now. Naruto was confused, but that was nothing new. He had talked with Hinata a bit outside of missions and felt she was a good friend, even if she was a little shy and weird. Neji, on the other hand, was still a bit of a stiff. Why are they asking me and not one of their teammates? Please, Naruto-kun, Hinata asked, and held up a full grocery bag. I already have everything I need, and if you think your apartment is bad, you have no idea what Neji-Nisan's room looks like. Hinata-chan, I've been busy and haven't had time to clean it. In the past month. Be grateful Otusan hasn't seen it, or worse, Hanabi-chan and Haruka Obasan, Hinata replied with a giggle. Neji growled and ground his teeth together. He had been meaning to clean his room, eventually. Most people would find it hard to believe that a perfectionist like Hyuga Neji was a total slob. Naruto began laughing at the look on Neji's face. Wow, is Hinata making fun of Neji? Is Neji being nice to Hinata? What is going on here? Am I having a weird dream because I fell asleep at the training grounds again? Wow, Hinata is pretty when she smiles. I wish she would smile more often. Maybe my apartment is worse than Neji's room, but it will be clean in a few minutes, thanks to Kage Bushins. Let's go. The three of them headed to Naruto's apartment, ignoring the occasional glares that people gave the hyperactive blonde. Neji glared back when he caught people and Hinata empathized with Naruto. At least these people were random strangers, not his family. Once they were at their destination, Naruto stopped them at the door. Can you wait out here for a few minutes, please? I just need to straighten things up a bit. With that he went inside, but Neji and Hinata still caught a glimpse of the mess it was. The two Hyuga genin could hear through the door, Kage Bushin no Jutsu. Okay everyone, we need to get this place cleaned up right now. Including the bathroom. Yes, definitely the bathroom. Check the milk, it might be bad. A flurry of scuffles, bangs, and other random noises were heard, along with comments from various Naruto clones. Where is the bathroom cleaner? Ugh, what died in the fridge? I am not cleaning that. Yes, you are. I need another vacuum bag. Hey, I wanted to dust. Too bad, I already am. Go clean the windows. Where are the towels? Stop arguing, everyone. Neji and Hinata are outside waiting for us. He's right, hurry up. You're not our boss. Yes, I am. I'm the original. Shut up and start working. Hinata began to giggle while Neji smirked. I wonder what it will look like once they are all done. If it looks halfway decent, Nisan, maybe you should ask if he could teach you the Kage Bushin Jutsu. You'll need the help cleaning your room. Now I have another reason to make Jonin as soon as possible, Neji mused, only Jonin are allowed to learn the Kage Bushin Jutsu. What's the other reason? My sanity, Neji deadpanned. Hinata burst out laughing right as Naruto opened the door. Come on in. What's so funny, Hinata? Neji Nisan's reasons for making Jonin, to learn Kage Bushin to help clean his room, and to save his sanity. Oh, you don't like Guy Sensei. He is an excellent sensei, but his training methods are insane. Trust me, you don't want to know, Neji defended himself. Naruto's laughter joined Hinata's in the small hallway. What is so funny about that? Or did Hanabi put my hair in pigtails again when I wasn't watching? Oh, no. Why on earth did I mention that Hanabi has done that to practice her stealth? Why do they find that so amusing? Neji, what's funny is to realize you actually have a personality behind that emotionless Hyuga exterior, Naruto replied once he was able to breathe again. Why would Hanabi put your hair in pigtails? So he would match his teammate, Hinata replied. She did it to him when he was meditating, and he didn't even notice it until Tenten pointed it out to him. It's confirmed. I either really overdid that pep talk or this is someone using a henge. I think I have created a monster. What has gotten into Hinata? Is she so tired and preoccupied with that headache she can't even be nervous around Naruto? That must be some headache. Shall we go inside so we can eat? It is kind of hard to cook in a hallway. Neji the stiff has returned, Naruto mock whispered to Hinata. He'll loosen up again. Once he's no longer embarrassed, she replied, where's the kitchen so I can get to work, Naruto-kun? This way. He glanced at the bag, vegetables. I know you don't like them, but please try them, for me. She asked. They will taste different, I promise. Naruto was shocked. Is Hinata giving me the sad puppy eyes jutsu? Sure. I promise I'll try them. Thank you, Naruto-kun. With that, Hinata got to work, cutting, slicing, and cooking. Naruto walked over to Neji. What has gotten into Hinata? She's acting very weird for her. She's not stuttering or turning red or anything like that. Neji shrugged. I don't know, but my guess is that she is dealing with so many different things right now, she's too preoccupied to be nervous around you. She's also tired with an extremely bad headache. Maybe she is just too distracted to be shy around you. Shy around me? Why? Neji sighed and nodded. Naruto, you don't have a clue that Hinata likes you, do you? Of course she does, we're friends. Naruto's oblivious face showed that he had no clue what Neji was insinuating. Smack. Neji's hand met his Hitai-ite. She likes you, Naruto. More than just a friend likes someone. A light seemed to turn on in Naruto's head. Is that why she's always turning red and fainting around me? Finally, the knucklehead had a brain, and it works outside of combat situations. Incredible. I never thought he would get it so soon. Of course, I did pretty much have to spell it out in black and white for him to get it. Yes, that is why. Hinata is by nature very shy and timid, so she didn't say anything because she was scared that you would reject her or that she would hold you back. Naruto's blue eyes showed that he understood what Neji was talking about. No one believes in her, do they? Is that why she doesn't believe in herself? Yes, Neji bluntly told him, I'm pretty much the only person in our clan who doesn't put her down constantly, and I've only started being nicer to her, thanks to you. Hiyashi-sama has also improved a bit as well. Kurenai-sensei, Shino, and Kiba do as well, but your support means the world to her. Do you remember how she reacted to your encouragement when she fought me during the Chunin exams? Naruto nodded in remembrance. That's when she began to fight, instead of backing down, I remember. Shino told me during that mission to find the Baikochu beetle that there are two people Hinata wants to impress, her father and myself. That's why. Partially. She sees a lot of similarities between the two of you. You both have felt alone, unwanted, and despised for who you are. She retreated into herself, becoming shy and timid. You refused to be beaten down, and never gave up. You forced people to notice you, and you didn't let them know when you were hurting. She wanted so badly to be able to do what you did, but she was too scared to do so. She also wanted to be your friend, but was afraid that she would drag you down and keep you from reaching your goals, because she believed that she was a failure. It's not that hard to understand, once you realize that she has been called a failure and a disappointment pretty much her whole life. It became even worse after her mother died. She was called that by her own family, the very ones who should have been supporting and helping her. They were the ones calling her useless. Naruto asked. Neji nodded in confirmation. I'd prefer having no family at all than one like the two of you have. Good. He is coming to her defense. It is because he understands how she feels. That means he may be willing to help her, Neji mused. Further conversation was stalled because right then Hinata called out, dinner is ready. Once they were all sitting down, Naruto took one bite and exclaimed, this is amazing, Hinata. You are a great cook in addition to being a great ninja. Hinata, predictably, blushed at the praise, TT thank you, Naruto-kun. Neji was studying his cousin when he noticed her arms were shaking, not from nerves, but as if from exhaustion. Hinata, it is rather hot in here. Why don't you take off your coat? She looked panicked for a second. Neji-Nisan, remember? She whispered. I know, but it will be okay, he reassured her. What's wrong, Hinata? Naruto asked, concern coloring his tone. This, she replied, and pulled off her coat. The injuries looked even worse now. This is the main reason Neji-Nisan and I had to get out of the clan compound tonight. Naruto was in shock as he realized the bruises weren't just on her hands and arms, but covered her whole body. No one can hurt anyone like this and just get away with it. If there is a way to help Hinata-chan, I will. Wait, Hinata-chan. Dinner passed quickly, with Naruto telling some stories of when he traveled with Jiraiya to bring Tsunade back to the village, hoping to make Hinata laugh. Once they were done eating, Neji volunteered to do the dishes. Despite what my cousin says about the state of my room, I am competent at cleaning. Only if Tenten is nearby and armed, Hinata replied, her dark mood mostly gone for now. Naruto-kun, I have something I want to show you. It's the reason we wanted you to have dinner with us tonight. Hinata reached back into her bag and pulled out her mother's photo album. You have got to see this. Naruto sat down next to Hinata on his old couch as she opened up the album so that it spread over their laps. Flipping through the pages quickly, she found the picture of 11-year-old Kushina and pointed at it. Do you have any idea who this person is? Nope, not a clue, was Naruto's well-thought-out reply. During the Third Shinobi War, she became well known as the katana mistress of Konoha. Oh, I've heard about her. Uruka-sensei mentioned her once in class. She is considered to be one of the best swordsmen that ever came from here. I think she was also in Anbu for a time. What about her? Hinata reached in and pulled the photograph out of its plastic, protective sleeve. Read the back, my mom wrote it. Naruto turned it over, slightly puzzled by Hinata's request. This is my best friend and teammate, Uzumaki Kushina. Birthplace, the now destroyed Uzugakure no Sato. Age at time of picture, 11. Rank, genin though she insists not for long. Favorite food, ramen. Hobbies, pulling pranks, training, and annoying the guys, especially the top ninja of our year, Namikaze Minato. Nindo, never give up, and do my best to protect my friends, so they don't know the pain I went through when my family was killed. Kushina's entire family was killed and her original village was destroyed by Iwa Ninja when she was 8 years old. Naruto flipped the picture over and stared at the smiling, red-haired girl. We have the same family name, he whispered in wonder. It also seems like you two have similar personalities as well, Hinata added. I brought this because I think Kushina could be your mother. You even have the same smile as her, the one you wear when you are truly happy, not faking it. I was never told the names of my parents, Naruto told her, unable to resist the hope that what Hinata said was true. It might be a coincidence that I share her name. I don't think so, Naruto-kun. My mother wrote here that Kushina's entire family was killed. She was the last with the Uzumaki name, until you. Who was their Jonin sensei? I don't know. I found one team picture, but the sensei wasn't there. Hinata began flipping through the album and finally found the official team photo, along with a surprise. Tsunade-sama trained Kasen. No way, Naruto breathed. Neji came into the living room when he heard Hinata's outburst. What is it? Bachan taught our mothers. She was their Jonin sensei. Naruto excitedly said, pointing to the picture of Senju Tsunade, Uzumaki Kushina, Hyuga Hitomi, and a brown-haired Inuzuka girl. The writing on the back named her Mei. This is a surprise, Neji mused. I don't ever recall hearing that Hitomi Basan was trained by a Sanin. All anyone ever talks about is her record with the Anbu, her and her partner Kitsune, also known as Uzumaki Kushina. Those clan elders are so stupid. They say that Hinata is unfit to be the clan heiress because she is so like Hitomi. However, Hitomi is one of the best shinobi to ever come from the Hyuga clan in years. Maybe because I didn't have a friend like Kushina when I was younger, unlike Kasen. Remember what people say. Kasen began developing a new style of Juken with Kushina's help, because traditional Juken didn't fit her or her chakra type. Her mother, Yakor Keiko, was a ninja with water affinity. Kasen inherited her affinity, and since Juken is structured for earth affinities, Kasen had difficulty learning it. Otusan mentioned last week that he should test my affinity, because if I have water also, it explains why I struggle with Juken. But the clan elders didn't like Kasen, because she was changing and adapting what they consider to be an already perfect fighting style. The style died with her, or I would have learned it. What are chakra affinities? Naruto asked, looking confused. You know how some jutsus use elements, like Sasuke's Kaiden attacks, or Kakashi Sensei's Reikiri, which is a Raiden jutsu. Neji asked him. Yeah, all ninja have an element that corresponds to them and their chakra. I know that I have earth affinity, and it seems very probable that Hinata has water affinity. Wind is the rarest here in Konoha, but it is commonly found in Suna. Earth and fire are commonly found here, with lightning and water right behind him. Hinata shot a look at her cousin, Neji-Nisan. Are you done with the dishes yet? Almost, he muttered. Did you have to use so many dishes? Yes, our dinner wouldn't have tasted right. Hurry up now. Neji looked at her closely. Forget what the elders told you today, Amotochan. Just relax and we'll worry about it tomorrow. He left to go back into the kitchen. Naruto turned to her and placed a hand on her shoulder, noticing the sad look on her face. What did your clan elders do to you today, Hinata-chan? Why did I just call her that? Because she's sad and needs help, plus it sounds right, doofus. Hinata tried to remain calm, but his touch and the use of the affectionate chan on her name unlocked the tears she had been holding back all evening. Her tears began flowing and she impulsively turned her head into his shoulder. Hinata sobbed out, the elders made me fight 3 members of my clan in a row without stopping. Neji was the last one I fought. They then decided that I wasn't worthy of being the clan heiress and gave the position to my sister Hanabi. Unless I do something, on my 14th birthday, I will be branded with the caged bird seal. When I turn 15, I will be forced to marry someone older than my father. Naruto was dumbstruck. They are making Hinata do what? That's not right. Is there anything I can do to help you? The only way you could help me stop them is if you marry me within a month, Naruto-kun, Hinata informed him with a slight, bitter laugh, contrasting oddly with her tear-stained face. Who would want to marry a girl like me? What good am I? I would. You're nice, sweet, a great cook, very cute, pretty, and a really good kunoichi. Did I just say that? Did he just say that? Hinata looked up at him with her tears still flowing. Don't say anything you'll regret, Naruto-kun. This would be permanent. If it didn't work out, it would be very difficult for you to divorce me. The Hyuga clan makes it almost impossible for someone to get divorced. Another condition is that I would have to be pregnant with your child within a few years. I wouldn't want you to marry me because you feel sorry for me. I'd want you to marry me because you feel something for me and don't want to lose me. Naruto was stunned. Hinata is very different from Sakura. What do I feel about her? Did I say that because I feel sorry for her or because I don't want to lose a friend like her? Oh, what am I thinking? She wouldn't want to marry me once she knows about the Kyuubi. What am I saying, Hinata? You wouldn't want to be even in the same room as me if you knew the truth about me. He could feel her stiffen. You're wrong, Hinata whispered. I do know why most of the village despises you. Neji and I can both see that you have two different chakras. I know your birthday is October 10th, the same day the Kyuubi attacked Konoha. When we looked up information on the Biju, we discovered something. You can't kill them, you can only seal them, either into objects or people. These people become known as Jinchuriki. I've known that you are the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Kitsune for months, Naruto-kun, and I am still your friend. Neji knows as well, and it has only increased his respect for you. You aren't the Kyuubi, Naruto-kun. If you were, you wouldn't have fought the Shukaku during the invasion, you would have joined him in destroying Konoha. We haven't told anyone else, don't worry. Hinata was feeling very tired after was pouring her heart out to her crush. Her headache was worsening, and now her stomach was starting to feel bad as well. Was it her, or was it very cold in the room all of a sudden? Naruto was stunned. Neji and Hinata know about the Kyuubi and they are still my friends. Now, how can I help save Hinata from her clan? Well, to do that, I'd have to marry her, but she doesn't want me to just because I feel sorry for her. She knows about the Kyuubi and still likes me, so she might be the only girl willing to marry me. Why am I thinking about marriage? I'm only 13, for crying out loud, and have never had a girlfriend. Now Naruto was starting to get a headache. Neji had heard everything from the kitchen. Wow, this is moving much faster than I had planned. I can't believe she told him so soon. Naruto, please don't be an idiot and mess this up. You are the only person that I trust Hinata with. Hinata-chan, thank you, Naruto finally said. One of my greatest fears is that my friends will abandon me once they find out the truth. I want to help you, Hinata, I really do, but can I think about it? You are one of my precious people and I don't want to see you sad. I like it when you smile. Thank you, Naruto-kun, she whispered. My stomach is feeling worse, like I need to throw up. Where's your bathroom? Over there, he replied, and Hinata made a mad dash for it, her face starting to look a little green. Neji came out of the kitchen, finally finished with the dishes. Why did Hinata just do that? I don't think she is feeling good at all, Naruto replied, right as they heard the sound of someone gagging. That's not good. Both boys ran to the bathroom and opened the door to find Hinata throwing up. Once she had emptied her stomach, Neji gave her a cup of water to rinse her mouth out with while Naruto put his hand on her forehead. It was burning. You are very sick, Hinata-chan, he told her. Neji rolled his eyes, very astute, Captain Obvious. I'm sorry, she whispered, I don't want to be a burden. Now you'll get sick, Naruto-kun. No, I can't get sick, thanks to the furball. I'll be fine. Neji is the one you should be worried about. I can get a flu shot, Neji replied. Hinata, it looks like you have that nasty flu that was in that town where you had your last mission. We can't stay with Tenten now, you'll get her whole family sick. We'll have to return to the clan compound. Neji, I don't want to go back to the compound. I'd rather go to the hospital, Hinata pleaded with him. She can stay here, Naruto said impulsively. If she doesn't want to go home, I'm the perfect person. Trust me, you don't want to go to the hospital, the food there will just make you worse. I know from experience. I can't get sick, and no one else comes here anyways, so you can't get anyone else sick. It'll be fine. I could also run and grab Tsunade Bachan, maybe she has some medicine or nifty medical jutsu that would make you feel better. Send a Kage Bushin, Neji suggested. Are you serious about her staying here? Naruto nodded. Then let's get her lying down and try to bring that fever down. Put her on my bed, Naruto said, I just washed the sheets. I can sleep on the couch. Kage Bushin no Jutsu. A shadow clone appeared. Go get Tsunade Bachan and bring her here. Don't let her tell you no. The clone took off in a flash. Naruto, where are your washcloths? I'm not sure. Hinata, can you stand? Hinata responded by collapsing on him. Neji, I don't think this is a good thing. Can you help me? Not right this minute. Okay. Kage Bushin no Jutsu. Let's get Hinata to bed. You take off her sandals and hit so she can sleep comfortably. Four Narutos managed to get Hinata into the bed right as Neji brought some damp cloths. They placed them on her forehead and behind her neck. Now all they could do was hope the Hokage came. Tsunade sighed as she was dragged through the streets by a frantic Naruto. Today started out so well, she mourned in her mind. Shizune and Sakura are gone for 3 weeks to that medical conference in the capital, and I got all of my paperwork done. Now the Gaki insists he needs me at his apartment ASAP, and if I didn't get moving, he'd Rasengan me. What is going on with you today, Naruto? When they arrived at the door of Naruto's apartment, Naruto disappeared into a puff of smoke, shocking Tsunade. She hadn't realized that her escort was a Kage Bushin until then. She sighed and knocked on the door, extremely irritated at her favorite blonde ninja. Irritation turned to shock when a harried-looking Hyuga Neji opened the door. Oh, domo arigato, Hokage-sama, we really need your assistance. What is going on, Neji? Why are you here? Tsunade demanded. Naruto appeared next to his fellow genin. We'll answer that later, Bachan. Hinata-chan needs help right now. With that, he dragged her inside. She had a really bad headache, then she began throwing up and running a fever, now she's unconscious and won't wake up. She was also beaten up by some members of her clan earlier today. He had dragged her into his bedroom where Hinata was laying on his bed. Please help her. I thought he still liked Sakura, but he is really worried about Hinata. Maybe he's starting to get over that silly crush and falling for the girl who really cares about him. Tsunade got to work, healing the girl's injuries and bringing her fever down. How is she? Naruto asked once she had finished working in her. She'll be fine, but it will take about 5 days for her to get over this virus. She should be at her home. No, Naruto interrupted her. She said she didn't want to go home, and I promised her that she could stay here. Her own family beat her up. Do you seriously want her to go back there? Again, Tsunade was surprised by Naruto's vehemence. He cares about Hinata, but how much? Neji added his 2 cents once it was apparent that Tsunade wasn't going to kill Naruto for his rudeness. She wants to stay here. I will stay with Tenten's family. I trust Naruto to take care of her. And if he doesn't, I will make him pay. Hinata's eyes fluttered open and she gasped out. Naruto-kun. Neji-Nisan. We're here, Hinata-chan, Naruto said, taking her hand. Tsunade Bachan is here and healed you. You really scared me when you passed out. Hinata turned her head toward him. I'm sorry for scaring you, Naruto-kun. It's not your fault you're sick, he replied. Ask her, she told him. What? Ask her about Uzumaki Kushina. Tsunade felt faint as she heard that name. She had helped rescue Kushina from the Iwa ninja who had killed her mother, Sayuri. She had been impressed with the spunky red head, and requested to teach Kushina when she became a genin. Sarutobi-sensei had granted her request, and over time, the fiery, impulsive girl had become like the daughter she had never had, along with her other surviving student, Hyuga Hitomi. Inuzuka Meiko, younger sister to Inuzuka Sume, was her third student, but she had been killed on one of their earlier missions, leaving Tsunade with just Kushina and Hitomi to train. Both girls had gone on to become the famous Anbu team, Kitsune and Raven. How do you know that name? She gasped out. Hinata's mother, Hitomi, had pictures of her, Naruto said, not leaving Hinata's side. Hinata thinks she is my mother, because we both love ramen, pranks, training, and we both want to protect our precious people. The blonde boy stared her down, determined to get an answer from the Hokage. Tsunade was torn. She knew the orders to not reveal Naruto's heritage until he turned 16, but he only wanted to know about his mother. I can't tell him about his father yet, but I can tell him about his mother. You three, this is an S-rank class secret. Do not tell anyone without my permission. Kushina made several enemies during the Third Shinobi War and we wanted to keep them in the dark in case anyone wanted revenge on her. Uzumaki Kushina is your mother, Naruto, and she died giving birth to you. Naruto was quiet as he absorbed what Tsunade had told him, and then asked, was she married to my dad? I have her name, not his. They were married. Don't worry, Naruto. You are perfectly legitimate. You were given your mother's name because your father had even more enemies than your mother did. I will tell you who he is on your 16th birthday, and you can take your rightful name and receive your inheritance then. Naruto nodded, gave Tsunade a grateful smile, and then gave Hinata a huge hug. Thank you, Hinata-chan, he whispered into her ear, you have given me a gift I can never repay. Thanks to you, I now have a piece of my past. You can keep the picture of your mom, Hinata replied, her face bright red thanks to both her fever and the enormous blush. I know my cousin would want you to have it. I'll give you a frame for it tomorrow, along with some medicine for Hinata, Tsunade promised. Kushina's son and Hitomi's daughter. I wonder if their mothers are pulling strings where they are at. My girls, I miss you both so much. Hopefully you are with your beloved, Shina-chan, and you are also keeping Hitomi company. Neji, I want to give you a flu shot tomorrow, so that if you do get sick, it won't be that bad. Neji nodded gratefully. That was the last thing on he wanted to do, get seriously sick. And Naruto will be here alone with Hinata, which will help both of them get to know each other better. I can spend some time with Tenten and no one will be bugging us. Oh, Tsunade-bachan, Neji and Hinata know about the Kyuubi, and they are okay with it, Naruto quickly informed the Hokage. We figured it out on our own, Neji told her, and no one told us and we haven't told anyone. Good, Tsunade commended him, keep it that way. This is Naruto's secret, so he is the one to decide when and whom to divulge it to. I'll run to the store tonight for you, Naruto, and get some foods and drinks for Hinata that won't upset her stomach that much. Since she is throwing up, it is very important you keep her hydrated. Naruto nodded in understanding. Oh, Tsunade-bachan, can I talk with you when you come back? I need to tell her about the problems Hinata is having with her clan and how I want to help her. She'll give me some good advice, which most likely won't get me into trouble. I'll head over to Tenten's once Tsunade-sama returns, Neji said, she is expecting me. Tsunade left and the three shinobi stayed quiet, each with their own thoughts. Naruto was thinking about Hinata and how to help her. Hinata was wondering what Naruto was thinking to help distract her from how terrible she felt. Neji was pondering about why the clan elders had given Hinata a rigged test, and then an almost impossible task, almost like they were determined to get rid of her and marry her to Yamada Taro. About 20 minutes later, Tsunade returned with food, drinks, and some medicine. This will help with your nausea, but it will make you sleepy. Is that okay? Yes, Hinata replied, I want to sleep. I just want this day to be over with. Naruto helped her sit up while Tsunade gave her the medicine and made sure she swallowed it. Good night, Amotochan, Neji said as he gave her a hug in farewell. Naruto also got up. I'll leave the door open so that if you need anything during the night, just yell, I'll hear you, and come to help. If this knucklehead doesn't take proper care of you, don't be afraid to tell me and I'll teach him how to do it correctly, Tsunade told her gently, ruffling the girl's short blue-black hair. Hinata gave them a small smile and pulled the covers up to her chin. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for taking care of me, Naruto-kun. I feel safer here than at the clan compound. The three left the room, Naruto making sure not to close the door entirely. I'll leave for Tenten's now, and I'll bring Hinata's things over tomorrow after I get that flu shot, Neji said, and then fixed Naruto with his pale stare. Naruto, take care of my cousin, or I will beat you so badly even you will be in the hospital for a month. Understand? Naruto gulped at the look on the older teen's face. He knew that Neji could definitely make good on his threat. I promise I will take care of her, Neji. See you tomorrow, Neji said as he left. Tsunade turned to Naruto. So what do you want to talk about, Gaki, now that Neji is gone and Hinata is asleep? It's about Hinata-chan. Hinata was almost asleep, but woke up when she heard Naruto's voice. She forced herself to stay awake, despite the grogginess from the medicine Tsunade had given her. Now I'll find out what Naruto-kun thinks about me. Oh, no, what if he? The girl couldn't bring herself to finish the thought. What about Hinata? You know those injuries she had. They were caused by members of her clan. She was forced to fight 3 of them in a row without stopping. According to Neji, she did really well, the best she has ever done. But it didn't impress the clan elders enough. She is no longer the Hyuga heiress, Hanabi, her little sister is now. When she turns 14, she will be branded with the caged bird seal. When she turns 15, she will be forced to marry some guy who is older than her father. That got the blonde Hokage's attention. What? That is sick and wrong. Oh, if her mother was alive. Naruto quickly continued before Tsunade got distracted, there is a way for her to stop it. The elders told her to prove that she is determined to stay in Konoha and remain a kunoichi, she has to marry a ninja from this village within a month. It has to be a real marriage, whatever that means. Another condition is that she has to be pregnant with her husband's child before her 16th birthday. While his clone had gotten Tsunade, Naruto has asked Neji about the problem and Neji had shared the details. You're the Hokage, Bachan, and Hinata's mother sensei. Is there anything you can do to help her? Time for the Gaki to learn a lesson about being Hokage. I can't do anything, Naruto, even though I really want to. The Hokage is forbidden to meddle in the affairs of the individual shinobi clans. I can only interfere if it becomes a problem of village safety or if Hinata was currently my personal apprentice, before the Hyuga Council gave her their ultimatum. If I or Jiraiya were to take her as a personal apprentice right now, it would be considered an insult to the Hyuga. She blew out her breath in frustration, my hands are tied. I can't believe the nerve of the Hyuga Council. They set her up with a task that she is most likely going to fail at. I doubt Hiashi approves of this. He may show a hard face to the public, but I know he wants the best for his daughter. What have those elders been drinking? Bad sake, Naruto suggested, and they both laughed, grateful for the release of tension it provided. I really want to help her too, Bachan, but when I said that I wouldn't mind marrying her, she said something strange. What did she say? She doesn't want me to marry her because I feel sorry for her. She would want me to marry her because I feel something for her and don't want to lose her. If I married her, it would be almost impossible to get a divorce if it didn't work out. That's what I'm confused about. Why would she say that if she wants to stay here and not marry that guy? Neji told me earlier that Hinata has a crush on me, so why would she say she doesn't want me to marry her? Naruto's confusion was obvious. No wonder the poor boy has no clue what is going on with Hinata, he hasn't had a family to show him what love is. All he has had for examples are those silly crushes kids get and what he has seen from others. I am glad he talked with me, instead of that pervert, Jiraiya. Hinata is just like Hitomi, always putting others before herself. Naruto, there is a difference between a crush on someone and loving them. For example, if Sasuke was back in the village, and Sakura was in the same situation that Hinata is in, what would she do? Naruto's answer was very prompt, she begged him to marry her non-stop and ignore or beat up anyone else who would offer. All she wants is Sasuke, and anyone in her way would just get run over. Sakura thinks that being with Sasuke will make her happy. The reason Hinata said that is because she values your happiness above her own, Tsunade began to spell out. I hope he understands the difference between Hinata and Sakura, which I see as the difference between love and a crush. The kid is worse than his father at understanding girls. At least Naruto has an excuse, Minato didn't. Hinata finds your happiness more important than her own. She doesn't want you to sacrifice your chance to be happy because of her. She wants me to be happy, no matter what, even if it makes her miserable in the process. Naruto asked, why? Inside the bedroom, Hinata bit her lip to keep from making any noise, and mentally thanked Tsunade for explaining this to Naruto. She swallowed, trying to keep her nervousness from making her nausea worse. It's simple, Tsunade replied, but let me tell you something. You remember how I was once engaged to Shizun's uncle? Naruto nodded. Dan, my fiancé, put me above everything else, including himself. He was killed trying to protect me, her voice broke with the memory, and I couldn't save him. Why do you think he did that, Naruto? Because he loved you. He put my life above his, even when it cost him his own. Hinata puts your happiness above hers, even when it costs her the chance she wants to be with you. Hinata loves you, Naruto, that's why she puts you above herself. That is quite a show of love, if I have ever seen one, especially from one so young. Naruto's eyes widened as he sat back against the couch in shock. Hinata loves me, and not just loves me, she loves me enough to put me above herself. Sakura says she loves Sasuke, but she never cared about what he wanted. He would ask her to leave him alone, and she didn't care about what he said. She was focused on what she wanted, and didn't bother with anything else. I say that I love Sakura, but could I put her needs above my own the way Hinata does? I promised that I'd bring Sasuke back to her, but I would have done it anyways, because Sasuke is also my friend. Why do I care for Sakura? She hits me whenever I do something she considers stupid, most of the time thinks I'm an idiot, and always said Sasuke was better than me. I liked her because she was nice to me a little bit a long time ago, but now? Only because Sasuke is gone and she feels guilty that I was nearly killed trying to bring him back to her. That is why she is being nicer to me now, she's guilty. Is that why Hinata wouldn't say yes, because she thinks that Sakura will make me happy? But I wouldn't be happy, not if Hinata isn't, and I could have done something to help. But I can't be happy if Hinata isn't, and I was able to help her, Naruto said slowly. Hinata is one of the few people who was always nice to me. She is one of my precious people, and I will always want to help and protect her. So, would you marry her to keep her happy? Tsunade asked. Hinata bit her lip again, scared to hear what his answer would be. Naruto paused. Would I do that for her? I would. I meant it when I told her that I would be willing to marry her. I never say something I don't mean. Naruto, what feelings do you have for Hinata? She is a really good friend, she's very nice, a great cook, she doesn't care about Kyuubi, and I care for her, a lot. I don't think I love her, but I don't know exactly what love is, as you have explained. Hinata is very pretty and definitely has the best figure out of all the girls my age. I can't believe I said that out loud. Darn you, Ero Sennin. Naruto, it's okay. You are a 13-year-old guy with active hormones. I understand, but be grateful Neji didn't hear you say that. That I think Hinata is hot. Yeah, I enjoy living. Hinata was almost positive the medicine was causing her to hallucinate. Naruto-kun thinks I'm hot. He doesn't want to marry me just because he feels sorry for me. I just don't think I'm good enough for her. She's a Hyuga, and I'm just an orphan who goes by his mother's name. She deserves someone better than me. No one is better than you, Naruto-kun. I'm the one who isn't good enough for you. You could do so much better than me. Tsunade paused. I have a suggestion, Naruto. You will be taking care of Hinata for this week. Consider it a C-ranked mission. See how it goes, get to know her better, let her get to know you, and then make a decision if you want to marry her or not. If you do decide to get married, I can't believe I am saying this to a 13-year-old, she will have to go with you when you leave with Jiraiya. Hopefully, her presence will keep Jiraiya from corrupting you and turning you into a total pervert. Maybe getting her away from her terrible family would be a good thing. One more question. What did Hinata-chan mean by it would have to be a real marriage? Tsunade almost choked with laughter. Naruto, it means that you can't just marry her to protect her with your name. You'd have to sleep with her. Huh, you would have to have with Hinata. What? That's what they mean. I'm only 13 and so is she. We're too young. The Hyuga Council members are a bunch of perverts. Well, you would have to eventually, Naruto. That's the only way to get a woman pregnant. Naruto, don't worry about that unless you decide to marry her. Then I'll explain what you'll need to do, to both of you. Naruto's face paled so quickly Tsunade had to laugh. Okay, but I won't even think of stuff like that while I am taking care of Hinata. I'm not Ero Sennin, who would immediately wonder what size bra she wears. 34C, Hinata thought, not that I'll tell anyone. So, Naruto-kun is attracted to me. I always thought I was so plain and easy to ignore. She gave a small smile and snuggled down into the covers and pillow to finally give in to her drowsiness. After a few minutes, Naruto spoke up, though, Bachan, I could see me marrying a girl like Hinata-chan. Nice, sweet, able to get me to calm down without giving me a concussion, and won't hit me every time I do something stupid. I don't love her right now, but I think I could. Yeah, I'll do what you say. I'll see how this week goes taking care of her, and then I'll decide. Good for you, Tsunade said, and then yawned, I'm going home so I can get some sleep. You'd better get some as well. You're going to need it, Gaki. Naruto yawned as he fixed breakfast for himself and Hinata. Tsunade had left a list of instructions to help him take care of Hinata. Number 1 was don't feed her ramen. He made toast for her and didn't put anything on it, also following Tsunade's instructions. He cut an orange and made a cup of instant ramen for his own breakfast. He brought Hinata her breakfast and another dose of medicine. She was awake, her hair sticking to her sweaty forehead, and a squeamish, pained look on her face. Good morning, Hinata-chan, how did you sleep? Naruto quietly asked, remembering to keep his voice down because of her headache. I slept well, but my stomach is acting up again, she murmured. Well, I brought you your medicine and some breakfast, that should help your stomach feel better. Do you need any help with anything? Hinata shook her head, no. Naruto was trying to be helpful, but she was feeling embarrassed to be so sick and weak. The last thing she wanted him to think she couldn't even take her medicine without help. I'll be fine, go eat your breakfast. Naruto nodded and had just sat down to eat when he heard a gagging noise coming from the bedroom. He ran in and managed to get Hinata out of bed before she threw up all over the floor. Ignoring the mess for the time being, Naruto managed to get her to the toilet before she continued to spew her stomach contents. Once she had finished, he ran into the kitchen to get her a glass of water and create a few cage cushions to clean up the mess in the bedroom. He ran back to help her rinse out her mouth. Do you think you drink some water? Naruto asked her, concern coloring his tone. He remembered what Tsunade had told him about keeping her hydrated. I'll try. I threw up the medicine, I'll have to take it again, she whispered, obviously embarrassed. Try to get the water down first, he insisted. Let's also give my cushions time to clean up the mess. Sorry about that, she replied. Naruto stared at her. Hinata, please stop acting like everything is your fault. You didn't get sick on purpose, and it was my fault that you threw up all over the floor, because I didn't help you get to the bathroom fast enough. Accidents happen, and sometimes it is no one's fault at all. I'm just tired of being a burden to everyone, Naruto, she replied. Look at me, I can't even get to the bathroom without help. Because you are sick, no other reason. I think that happens when people get sick, they have trouble taking care of themselves, so they need other people to help them get better. Hinata, do you really want Neji to beat me up because you wouldn't let me help you? No, I don't ever want you hurt. Naruto gave her a one-armed hug. Then let me help you, Hinata-chan, and stop being embarrassed or ashamed about it. That's what friends do for each other. Drink the water and I'll help you lay back down and take your medicine. She did, but drank it too quickly and ended up throwing it up again. It didn't help that the water was cold. He got her more water and made sure it was warmer this time, using a suggestion she had given him. She was able to keep it down without trouble this time. The Bushins finished cleaning the mess and Naruto put Hinata back to bed. He also helped her take a new dose of medicine before he went back and sat down to his breakfast. The orange was eaten and he started to make a new cup of ramen because the other one had gotten cold and cold ramen is nasty. Right as he filled the cup with water, Hinata called from the bedroom, "Naruto, help." Dropping everything again, he ran into the bedroom to help her to the toilet. She didn't throw up this time, but he understood her caution. He had finally managed to finish his breakfast after that episode. A knock sounded on his door. He opened up to find both Neji and Tsunade there. Neji was holding a bag and Tsunade was carrying more supplies. "How did last night go?" the Hokage asked. "It was all right, but Hinata threw up a few times again this morning. She's managed to drink some water, but I don't think she has tried to eat the toast yet." Tsunade nodded. "I'll go check on her and maybe help her take a bath. That should help with her fever and you always feel better when you are clean." Naruto nodded and rubbed the back of his head. "Yeah, you'd better help her with that instead of me." "Morning, Neji. Is that Hinata's stuff?" "Yes, but I will let Tsunade-sama have them so she can help Hinata change into her pajamas once she had bathed. I will be training with my team today, but I will be back in the evening to check up on both of you." Naruto nodded, and then blurted out, "Neji, why are you all of a sudden so protective of Hinata-chan? You almost killed her during the Chunin exams, and now." Naruto trailed off as he saw Neji's look. "You made me see the error of my ways when you defeated me in the Chunin exams, Naruto. Not the least of those errors was the way I have treated my cousin." Neji took a deep breath and continued, "The Hyuga have a tradition, that every member of the main branch family has their own Hogosha, or protector. My father, Hizashi, was the Hogosha for Hiashi, my mother Megumi was Hogosha for Hitomi, and I am Hinata's Hogosha. However, due to my blaming her of her role in my father's death, I never carried out my duties unless I was specifically ordered to by the main branch. Yes, I know I was being an idiot. When you literally beat the sense into me, I began to be willing fulfill my duties as her Hogosha. I have gotten to know her better and I can now honestly say I am grateful and honored to be her Hogosha. If she has to marry Yamada-sama, I will go with her, to continue to carry out my responsibilities to her, but also because I want to make sure she will be taken care of and I know she will need at least one friend she can trust." Naruto was shocked. If Hinata has to marry that guy, Neji will give up his own career as a ninja to make sure she won't be alone. Wow, he has changed. Great. This was all I needed, to know that my decision will affect both Hinata and Neji. I am too young to make a decision like this. Neji seemed to understand the look on Naruto's face. Yes, she is very young to be forced into such a situation, but we have all been considered adults when we received our hitaites. If we are trusted enough to make calls that determine the future and lives of other people, why can't we be trusted to make our own decisions regarding our own futures? Hinata has always proven to be different than the other kunoichi of your year. When Tenten asked her a few months ago why she never was a Sasuke fangirl, she replied, "Because he isn't a nice person. He only cares about himself. I think the clan elders are insane for doing this, but I can't do anything to help her, despite being her Hogosha." "But I can," Naruto replied. "I trust you, Naruto. I have observed you on our various missions and I am confident of one thing. I know I can trust you with Hinata. Then why do you threaten me? Because she is like my little sister and any big brother would do that. I remember Hitomi-san telling me of how my mom would threaten both Hiashi-sama and Kitsune that if anything happened to Hitomi, she would skin them alive. Hitomi was her friend, which is why she was so loyal to her. It is actually a coincidence that my parents were the Hogoshas of Hinata's parents." "Is that how your parents met?" by playing bodyguard for Hiashi and Hitomi when they were on a date? Naruto asked, trying to lighten the mood. Neji looked thoughtful and then replied, I think so. Maybe that is what Hitomi-san meant when she joked that I had to thank her for being born. Maybe our mothers were friends as well, since my mother was her protector and your mom was her Anbu partner. It is possible. Tsunade found the two boys talking once she was finished helping Hinata bathe and change into her pajamas. The girl had gone back to sleep, which was truly the best medicine for her condition, and so Tsunade was ready to give Naruto a few more instructions. Naruto, try to make some jello for Hinata's lunch. It will be easier on her stomach and give her the sugars her body needs for energy. I also have left some peppermint herbal tea for her to drink, because mint also helps with nausea. If she gets really feverish, place some damp cloths on her forehead, that will help her to feel better. If she suddenly gets worse, don't be afraid to come and get me. Naruto nodded and yawned. He hadn't slept well the night before because he was so worried that Hinata would need his help during the night. Tsunade noticed it and gave him a small smile. If you need to go somewhere or take a nap, just remember you are able to be in two places at once. Your cage bushins. If you need to take a nap, create one and have it watch over Hinata while you sleep. See you later, Naruto-kun, she replied with a small smile. Kushina, please help your son, I know he'll need it. Naruto stared at the colored mess in the bowl. This was his fourth time attempting to make jello today. He had failed 3 times the day before. I don't get it. I follow the instructions exactly and leave it in the fridge for the right amount of time and every time it turns into jello soup. Why can't I get it to work? A sound from the bedroom distracted him from the jello soup problem. Hinata-chan, do you need any help? I just knocked over my cup. It was empty. Don't worry, her soft voice replied. Naruto entered and was relieved to see that Hinata had stayed in bed. She got really dizzy whenever she had tried to stand up and walk lately, so he didn't want her trying to go anywhere without him there to help. I've got it. He picked up the cup and had a sudden idea. Hinata-chan, have you ever made jello before? No. Why? I keep making jello soup for you, he admitted. It doesn't matter how long I leave it in the fridge, it never sets up. Now I don't have anything for your dinner. She gave him a small smile. You'll figure it out, I am sure about that. I'll be fine with some tea and crackers. Did Tsunade mean it when she ordered you to not eat ramen every day? Yes, she did. I have to eat stuff with a higher nutritional value or I will never get any taller. He scowled and she gave a small giggle. Are you bored? I could put some music on for you. Sure. I have some CDs in my bag. I like to practice my taijutsu to music. Naruto found the case and opened it up. To say he was shocked by Hinata's choice in music was understating it. You like rock music? Yes. Occasionally I'll play it so loud the clan elders will get mad. Every time they blame Neji for it. No one even considers I'm the culprit. Naruto gave a small laugh and put in a CD. The song New Divide by Linkin Park began sounding. I think you are the only girl I know who would practice to this. She gave a grin. I love the strong beat, it is an excellent way to pace yourself. I almost feel like I am dancing as I practice my katas. You should try it sometime. Only when no one else is watching. I can't imagine what would happen if Lee did this. What song would he pick? This is the song that never ends. Hinata suggested, causing both genin to burst out laughing. So, Hinata, what was your mom like? Hinata paused in between bites of plain rice. She was always gentle and very kind. The Branch family members loved her because she always treated them with respect, like they were her equals instead of servants. She never backed down over an issue she felt strongly over. She had been ostracized and ridiculed by the clan when she was younger because she was only half Hyuga. Every generation, a few members, both main and branch, are given permission to marry someone from outside the clan, to bring in new blood and help prevent inbreeding. That was starting to be the problem with the Uchiha. Since they had nothing like the caged bird seal to protect their bloodline, they very frequently married their cousins so to not lose control of the Sharingan. I think Sasuke was one of the few children in the clan when they were destroyed. So the caged bird seal does have a good function. Yes, but I believe that it doesn't do that good of a job because of the negative effects of the seal. My father was a friend of the Yondaime, and I heard a rumor that he had asked him about coming up with an alternate seal that would perform the same functions without the negative side effects. Naruto stared at her. Your dad knew the Yondaime. Hinata nodded. They were in the same year together in school, which was the same year our mothers were in. Your mom knew him. Remember what my mom wrote? One of her hobbies was annoying the guys, and her preferred target was the top student, Namikaze Minato, who we all know today as the Yondaime Hokage. Naruto began to grin. My mom pulled pranks on the Yondaime. I think I am grateful she lived long enough to have me. My mom also helped, Hinata said. She's starting to fade in my memory. I don't want to lose what memories I have of her, but as I grow older, they slide away. Who am I to complain? At least I got to know my mom. You never got the chance. But you have given me the opportunity to know who she is. I can ask Bachan about her, and maybe your dad also has some stories about her that your mom shared with him. I can also look up her missions and find out what kind of ninja she was. That's more than I have ever had before, Hinata-chan, and you gave me that chance. A knock sounded on the door and Naruto opened it up, not surprised to find Neji there to check up on him again. Hi, Neji, Hinata is eating dinner right now. Have you eaten already? Yeah, I ate while she was napping earlier. Do you want to go visit her? I need to run to the store and get some more things. Sure. Neji followed Naruto into the room and watched as he said goodbye to Hinata. Once Naruto was gone, Neji looked at his cousin, who was slowly eating her rice, sitting up in bed wearing her pajamas. Are you feeling any better today, Hinata? I've only thrown up once today, but I still get really dizzy if I stand up. I can't make it to the bathroom without help. What have you been doing, Neji-Nisan? Training with Tenten. I've been trying to extend the amount of time I can use the Kaden and she has been helping me with that. Has Naruto been taking proper care of you? Yes. Every time I need him, he has been willing to drop everything to help me. I can tell it makes him a little stir-crazy being cooped up inside, but he hasn't complained once. We've spent a lot of our time talking and getting to know each other when I've been awake. It turns out we have the same taste in music. He really likes my choice of CDs. Neji raised an eyebrow at her. What is her taste in music? I'm not sure I even know. I wonder if she is the one who keeps blaring rock music and getting me in trouble with the clan elders. No. When would Hinata ever listen to that sort of stuff? What else have you learned about each other? Hinata blushed and modestly replied, just a bunch of random stuff that you would find boring, Nisan. He was telling me what happened on his first C-ranked mission this morning. Can you believe that his team fought a former member of the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist on that mission? Which one? Neji asked, impressed that Team 7 had come back alive from that. Momochi Zabuza, Hinata replied. I think Kakashi-sensei is the one who took him down, while Naruto faced his assistant, a boy named Haku. Neji gave a low whistle. The demon of the mist, impressive. Maybe I should tell Guy-sensei. He would go nuts knowing that Kakashi-sensei beat him. That would start a new ring of those contests that drive Kakashi-sensei crazy, Nisan. Maybe you shouldn't. But it would be good blackmail material. Have you driven Tenten crazy yet with your habit of putting your things everywhere? I think so. She has threatened me that if she finds my stuff by the door again, she is not to be held responsible for what would happen to me. I can't help it. I leave my pack there because I'll always need to grab it before I leave. Hinata shook her head. Neji, do you remember how many members of our clan get annoyed by your little habit? Almost everyone. And we are all your family and know you. Tenten isn't used to your habits, so it will be extremely annoying to her. Please try to resist. I would really like my cousin back when this week is over. She finished her rice and started to lie back down. Naruto entered a few minutes later to find Hinata almost asleep again and Neji washing the few dishes. He helped Hinata take her evening dose of medicine and then put the dried dishes away. Naruto, I am glad to hear you are taking such good care of her. It appears that I didn't need to threaten you after all, Neji said by way of farewell. Thank you, Neji, the blonde genin replied. Just remember, she is on a time limit, he responded as he shut the door. Naruto took a look into the bedroom at the sleeping Hinata. The first day it had been a little awkward having her at his apartment, but now it felt almost normal. It was nice to have someone there when he came home. Whoa, it will feel weird to be all alone again once Hinata gets better and goes back home. What's even weirder is that it will feel weird being all alone again. I like having her here. She's fun to talk to and always listens to what I have to say. Sweet dreams, Hinata-chan, he whispered as he went to sit down on his couch. Here you go, Hinata-chan, Naruto said as he propped her up with a couple of pillows and handed her a bowl of plain rice. It was Hinata's fourth day of being sick and she was starting to improve. Thank you, Naruto-kun, Hinata whispered, taking the chopsticks and beginning to eat. Naruto gave her a smile in reply and began eating his own breakfast of rice, fried eggs, and an apple. This had become another habit of his, eating in the bedroom so he could easily help Hinata. He really didn't want a repeat of the first morning of Hinata's illness. Sharing their meals had given the two quite a lot of time to talk. What dreams do you have outside of being a kunoichi? Naruto asked after swallowing a mouthful. I love flower pressing, but I also enjoy cooking. I'd love to learn how to really cook. I've mostly taught myself. Now she began to blush. I always wanted to be a mother. I remember when I was little and my mother was pregnant with Hanabi, how excited and happy she was. One day she interrupted my Jukin training so Otusan and I could feel the baby's first kick. Okasan had 2 miscarriages in between Hanabi and me, and Hanabi's birth killed her. Every time a baby died, Otusan got a little sadder, and when Okasan died, it was like all of the happiness he had before died with her. I don't understand, even though your mom was dead, he still had pieces of her in you and Hanabi. I know I don't look like my mom, so I most likely look like my dad. Would her heart have died like your dad's did if only my dad had died that night? I don't know, Naruto-kun. People all respond to tragedy differently. Your mother had lost her entire family when she was a child, maybe that would have caused her to hold you even closer because you reminded her of your father. I'm just taking a guess from what I remember Kasan telling me about her best friend. Hinata sighed. Part of the reason why I want to be a mother is because I love my own mother so much. I want to be like her, a great kunoichi, a wonderful friend, an amazing, loving mother, and a very strong person. I read something she wrote the day after the Kyuubi attacked, the day after your mom died. She said that without Kushina pushing and supporting her, she couldn't have become the ninja she did. She didn't know about you. She mentioned that it was rumored that Kushina's son didn't survive his birth. The two of them stayed quiet for a moment, and then Hinata asked, what about you, Naruto-kun? Do you have any other dreams other than becoming Hokage and proving people wrong that you aren't the Kyuubi? Not really. I always thought it would be nice to have a family, just so I wouldn't be alone anymore, but it was never a goal of mine. I've never had a family or known my parents. How can I be a good parent with no examples to follow? Hinata gave him a smile, reached over and gave his hand a squeeze. I know you will be a great father, Naruto-kun. You have a large heart, are willing to help anyone, and aren't afraid to give everything to help someone. You give encouragement and you are a great example. You really think so, Hinata-hime? Naruto asked, realizing she was still holding his hand. I do. Why else do you think I have admired you for so many years? I know you will become a great father one day, you are an amazing shinobi, and you will become the greatest Hokage Konoha has ever seen. Her pale lavender eyes showed no lies, only her belief and trust in him. She believes in me. How many others my age have said the same thing? What on earth did I do to deserve this girl? I'd be a huge idiot to lose her to someone else. This girl loves me, believes in me, and is willing to help me achieve my dreams. What am I thinking? Thank you, Hinata-hime, Naruto replied, again not noticing the change in suffix. Are you done with your breakfast? She nodded and he helped her lie back down. I've got to go talk with Bachan about something, but I'll leave a cage bushin here in case you need anything. Surprising both of them, he leaned over and gave her a quick peck on her forehead. Hinata was feeling hot again, but wasn't sure if it was from the kiss or her fever. Naruto-kun kissed me was the only thought going through her mind. She snuggled into the covers while Naruto created a clone and gave it strict orders of what to do while he was gone. The clone nodded and got to work washing dishes. Hinata gave a small sigh and drifted off to sleep, a small smile on her face. Naruto made his way to the Hokage's tower, his mind a tumble of thoughts, but no more doubts about what he was going to do. He knocked on the door and heard a strong, "Come in." "Hi, Tsunade-sama. I need to tell you something," Naruto announced. "He isn't calling me Bachan, this must be serious." "Take a seat," she replied, "just give me a few minutes to finish this." She quickly finished up the paper she was working on. Naruto eyed the huge pile of paperwork. "Do you know the Kage Bushin Jutsu? That could really help you get the paperwork under control. It really came in handy for me when I needed to clean up after Hinata this week. I know I'll use them for the paperwork when I'm Hokage." Tsunade felt like smacking her forehead on the desk. "How come I never thought of that, or Sarutobi-sensei? I'm willing to bet Minato used them. That explains how he was able to spend so much time with Kushina." "Naruto, you are truly your father's son." She made 5 clones and said, "Get to work on that, I need to talk with our favorite Gaki." The Kage Bushins got to work and she moved to sit next to Naruto. "Thanks for the suggestion, Naruto-kun. What do you need to tell me?" "I've made up my mind about Hinata Haim," he said, looking unusually serious. "I want to marry her, not just for her, but because she can help me as well. She believes in me and wants to help me. She makes me want to be a better person. I don't love her yet, but right now I'd consider her to be one of my best friends, and could you do worse than marrying your best friend? Hinata Haim is an amazing girl and I'd have to be an even bigger idiot than I am to let her get away from me." Tsunade gaped at the short blonde kid in front of her as he finished his declaration. "You don't love her yet? Naruto, you seem to be well on your way to falling in love with that little girl. Now I really can see your father in you, he would have done the same thing for your mother. Maybe I should ask Jiraiya about telling him about his father before he leaves. Since the pervert is his godfather, it is Jiraiya's decision to tell him. Minato, Kushina, I hope you are proud of your son. Wait, that reminds me. Are you sure about this, Naruto? There is no changing your mind. I'm as sure about this as I am about the fact that one day I will have that hat of yours, Bachan. I want to help Hinata achieve her dreams, and she wants to help me achieve mine. She's willing to talk things out when we don't agree on something, instead of just hitting me and telling me I'm stupid. I'm not perfect, and neither is she, but we both know that. I will marry Hinata, and I am in it for the whole thing, including kids." He paused and asked, "Could we ask the Hyuga Council to reconsider when we have to have our first kid? I'd prefer to wait a little longer. I promise you, I'll do my best to make her happy." Tsunade gave him a proud smile. "When you ask the Hyuga Council for her hand, I'll make the suggestion, but I doubt they'll cave. I am proud of you, Naruto. You have thought this through and you aren't just jumping in impulsively like usual for you. I will stand in for your parent when you present your case to Hiashi and the Hyuga Council, and you will need Neji's help. Since you aren't Hyuga, a member of the clan needs to vouch for you and explain why you are worthy to marry one of the Hyuga. There is one more thing you need and I happen to have it with me. Wait here for a moment." Tsunade got up and headed to a small closet. She pulled out a small sealing scroll and opened it up. Pulling something out, she quickly sealed it and put it back in the closet. "Hold out your hand and close your eyes," she instructed him. He did as he was told and she dropped the objects into his palm. "Open your eyes." Naruto opened his eyes and stared at what he was holding. There were 2 necklaces, one having a man's wedding ring on it, and the other had a woman's engagement ring and wedding ring strung on it. The rings were made of white gold and the engagement ring had a diamond and a deep blue sapphire on each side of the diamond. Where did you get these? These are your parents' wedding rings, Tsunade replied. Most people didn't know they had eloped during the Third Shinobi War, so they wore their rings on the necklaces. It's part of your inheritance, so if you want to, you can give Hinata your mother's engagement ring. Naruto picked up the diamond and sapphire ring. It was very pretty, and when the light hit the gems, they almost seemed to glow. Just like Hinata's eyes when she smiles, Naruto thought. Thank you, Tsunade Bachan. Don't thank me. This is part of your inheritance from your parents, like I told you. You'll receive the rest when you turn 16. I just figured that you needed this part right now. She gave him a quick hug. Go home to your princess, Gaki, and tell her what you told me. Princess. You've been calling her Hinata Haim, so she must be your princess, Tsunade replied, teasing him just a little bit. Your parents would be proud of you, Naruto. I knew them both of them well, so I can honestly say that. I'll send someone to find Neji so you can talk to him as well. Okay, Naruto said, and stuffing the jewelry into one of his pants pockets, said farewell to the Hokage. He took off for his apartment, his heart feeling very light and happy. As he barged into the apartment, his clone hissed at him, "Be quiet, Hinata-chan is asleep." Okay, but I need to ask her something. How is she feeling? No more puking, her headache is better than it has been, but her fever is still there. It's almost time for her to take her medicine. I've done the dishes and made some jello for her lunch. It had better turn out this time, Naruto muttered, having lost count of how many batches of jello soup he had made. I followed the instructions exactly, the clone protested before Naruto dispelled him. He pulled out the chain with his mother's rings on it and took off the engagement ring. On a sudden impulse, he took his father's chain out and tried on the ring. It was a little big for him, but then he doubted that his parents had gotten married when they were 13. He got Hinata's medicine ready and walked into the bedroom where she was still asleep. Naruto first checked her fever, still a little warm, but not dangerously hot. Hinata Haim, you need to wake up. It's time to take your medicine. He shook her shoulder gently. She stirred and yawned. You're back already, Naruto-kun. He nodded. How are you feeling? A little better. I'm just tired, she replied, sitting up. He handed her the medicine and made sure she swallowed it. I need to ask you something, Hinata Haim. She stared straight at him with huge, pale eyes. How much do you want to stay in Konoha? It's my home, she replied, a little confused. I mean, would you be willing to stay here as my wife, even though most people don't like me because I am a Jinchuriki? Naruto asked, his deep blue eyes intense and focused on her. I don't want to lose you, Hinata. I'm not sure what love is, but I think you can help me figure it out. Am I dreaming or something? Because I think Naruto just proposed to me. Are you asking me what I think you are, Naruto-kun? She quietly asked, suddenly aware of the fact that she needed to bathe and brush her teeth. Naruto gulped and replied, if you think I am asking you to marry me, then you are right. He pulled his mom's ring out of his pocket and showed it to her. Hinata stared at the ring and then at Naruto. Yes, she whispered, yes, I am. She gave him a huge smile. And I'll help you understand love, Naruto-kun. Where did you get the ring? It's my mother's, my dad gave it to her. If it doesn't fit, you can always wear it on a chain. Apparently that's how my parents wore their rings. He tried the ring on her finger, but, big surprise, it was too big. Hinata smiled, it's beautiful. I am proud that you gave me your mother's ring. She held it in her hand and then glanced at her new fiancé. Can I try something, Naruto-kun? Naruto nodded, a little curious, but that dissipated when she leaned forward and touched her lips to his. The kiss was brief and very light, but not lacking in emotion. Can we do that again, Hinata Haim? Naruto asked once he realized what had happened. Can I brush my teeth first? My breath stinks, she replied bashfully. And I get an explanation on why you are kissing my Emotochan while she is still sick, Neji demanded from the doorway. Tenten was standing next to him, mouth open in shock. Naruto gave a grin to Neji. Well, I'm going to marry her. I thought that meant I could kiss Hinata whenever I want. Tsunade checked Naruto out as she helped him prepare to meet with Hyuga Hiashi and the rest of the Hyuga clan elders, making sure the teen looked his absolute best. She had bought him a nice black kimono and hakama so he would meet the clan's standards of acceptable formal wear. She had also attempted to fix his spiky blonde hair so it didn't look like a blonde mess. That didn't work too well. His hair was still going wherever it wanted to. Bachan, I feel like an idiot. Do I really have to wear this stuff? Naruto asked, looking at his reflection in a mirror. Yes, for the last time, Gaki. You need to meet the Hyuga clan's standards tonight, do you understand? Even with Neji vouching for you, they still might turn you down. Though the only ones with veto power are Hiashi and Haruka. From what Neji mentioned, both will be happy that Hinata has found a way out of this situation. Even though my mom and Hinata's mom were best friends, Neji said that might work in my favor. You have no idea how much that will help you. Many of the clan did know your mother, Tsunade replied. I will reveal that you are Kushina's son when the time is right. Now, Naruto, when Hiashi and possibly Haruka hear who your mother is, they will immediately know who your father is. Do not ask them. I cannot allow you to know who he is until you are 16. Maybe sooner depending on what Jiraiya says. Naruto nodded in understanding. Will that be a good thing or a bad thing? Was my dad on good terms with the Hyuga? Tsunade gave him a smile. Yes, Hiashi actually was a good friend of his. That's why he will know once I tell them you are the son of Uzumaki Kushina. She turned to the mirror and quickly put her hair up into a twisted bun and secured it with a jeweled clip, a Senju heirloom. Tsunade was wearing a light green kimono with white embroidered birds and a dark green obi. Kushina, Hitomi, help me out here. I know that the two of you would want this to happen. We both look like we're ready, so come with me, Naruto. He nodded and said, Bachan, you look really good, like the Hokage, but without the hat. Thank you, Naruto. Remember, be polite, don't call me Bachan, and no cracks about my age in front of the Hyugas. Understood, Hokage-sama. The pair made their way to the Hyuga clan compound, where they were met at the entrance by Neji, dressed in a formal white and gray kimono. Hokage-sama, Uzumaki-san, welcome. Hiashi-sama, Hinata-sama, and the clan elders are waiting for you. Follow me, please. Neji, what is the mood of the clan elders? Naruto whispered as they crossed the courtyard. They think the fact that someone wants to marry Hinata is a joke. We'll prove them wrong, Neji replied as he led them to the main council meeting room. Since the Hokage is coming with you, they are also serving dinner. Just to warn you, ramen isn't on the menu. It's okay, Naruto told him. I'll survive and manage to eat it. Will you be eating with us? Yes, because I am the one vouching for you. Don't make me or Hinata look like fools tonight. Understood. Besides, Hokage-sama has already threatened that as I screw this up, she murder me and hide my body. Neji opened the door and announced, the Godime Hokage Senju Tsunade and Konoha Genin Uzumaki Naruto are here. Tsunade smiled as she entered, thank you for seeing myself and my godson on such short notice. I am grateful to be here for a more joyous occasion than the last time I was here, for my beloved student Hyuga Hitomi's funeral. Neji elbowed Naruto discreetly. And I am grateful for the chance to come here as well. It is not often that I am allowed to come visit the homes of people I consider to be close and dear friends of mine, Naruto said while giving a bow in Hiashi's direction. Tsunade had forced him to memorize the greeting before they came. Hiashi stood and gave a short bow to his guests. It is my honor to welcome my departed wife's teacher to my home, and a promising genin as well, who has already proven helpful and a good friend to two members of my clan. Haruka also stood and bowed, welcome. You refer to Uzumaki-san as your godson, Hokage-sama. We were unaware of his importance to you. Tsunade gave a small smile. This one was tinged with pain. The person named as his godmother was killed in the line of duty 10 years ago, and since I knew his mother well, I accepted the duty in her place. Naruto stared at Tsunade in shock while Haruka replied, "Who was this person?" Her name was Narita Rin, a medic and jonin of this village who was close to his mother, like a younger sister. Haruka nodded in approval. I remember the girl. She saved the lives of Hitomi and Hinata when Hitomi developed complications during childbirth. One of the Yondaime's students, a very talented medic, and quite an adept fighter, without a doubt. Will you take a seat so we can get started with dinner? Uzumaki-san, you will be seated next to my granddaughter. My grandson will be on your other side. Hokage-sama, you will be seated between my son and myself. Naruto walked to his place and sat down next to Hinata. She's gorgeous. That was the only thought going through his head. Hinata was wearing a lilac-colored kimono with dark purple butterflies embroidered on it and a dark purple obi. There were small lavender flowers pinned in her hair and she was wearing makeup. Her face lit up with a smile when she saw him. Good evening, Naruto-kun, she whispered. Hesitantly, she pulled a silver chain out from under the neckline of her kimono and showed him what was on it, his mother's engagement ring, now hers. She took in his appearance. The black looked really good on him. You look very nice this evening. I am so lying. You look hot. You look beautiful, Hinata-hime, Naruto replied, and quickly leaned over and gave her a peck on the cheek, causing her to blush prettily. Hiashi smiled at the display while some of the other council members looked annoyed. Dinner actually went really well. Naruto didn't mention anything stupid or compare the cooking to Ichiraku's. Tsunade kept the conversation going, telling stories about her adventures with the Sannin, training her own team, and of course, the bet she and Naruto made, which brought her back to the village to become the Godime Hokage. Once dinner was over and done with, one of the elders turned to Naruto. You have a request to make of the Hyuga family, Uzumaki Naruto. Yes, I do. I humbly request permission to wed the eldest daughter of Hyuga Hiashi and Hyuga Hitomi, Hinata. To speak on behalf of my deceased parents is Senju Tsunade, Godime Hokage. You are not Hyuga, so is there a member of the Hyuga clan willing to testify to your worthiness to marry one of our clan's daughters? Haruka asked. I do, Neji said. Naruto defeated me in combat during the Chunin exams and has proved him to be loyal to this village and his friends many times over. I know that he will take care of and protect Hinata-sama. This I swear by both my eyes and my role as the Hogosha of Hinata-sama. We acknowledge and accept the words spoken in behalf of Uzumaki Naruto, by Hyuga Neji, son of Hazashi and Megumi, a random elder said. What do you say for Naruto, Tsunade-sama? Hiashi asked. Hinata reached over and took Naruto's hand in hers. Naruto could tell by her tight, slightly shaky grip that she was very nervous. I know him and I knew his parents well. You couldn't find a more suitable and worthy husband for your daughter, Hiashi-sama. He has many of the same traits and attributes that made his mother such an amazing shinobi and friend. You knew her well. Another elder spoke up. Who is the boy's mother? All we know is that he is an orphan of unknown parentage. Tsunade gave a small, sad smile. His mother was the other beloved student I trained alongside Hitomi, Uzumaki Kushina. Naruto and Hinata saw Hiashi's face go white with shock when he heard the name. Haruka and two other elders did the same thing. So, that's why Bachan warned me. Now I am really curious to know who my dad is, but my mom also had a great representative as a ninja. Maybe it's because they can't believe that I'm related to the famous Anbu Kitsune. Hiashi's thoughts were very different. So the resemblance isn't a coincidence or a side effect of the seal. By Kami, Minato, you used your own son. Why didn't the Sandame tell any of us? We could have helped him much more than we were able to with the civilians begging for his death in their stupid belief that Naruto was just another form of the Kyuubi no Kitsune. Time for me to make up in part for my negligence and pray that Hitomi will eventually forgive me, and that Kushina won't beat the living daylights out of me. You are correct, Hokage-sama, Hiashi managed to speak once he had gotten over his shock. Naruto does share many traits in common with Kushina. Remember, she was a friend of mine as well as Hitomi's. Your mother and your father would be proud of you, Naruto, and I have no problem entrusting you with my daughter. Hiyashi-sama, have you forgotten what that boy is? An elder demanded, one who didn't know who Kushina's husband was, poor idiot. Yes, I remember, and Hinata and Neji know as well. Jinchuriki are not evil, even if the demons they imprison are. Kushina taught me that. There were legends in her home village of a Jinchuriki who helped out the founders of Uzugakure and assisted them in forging their prized weapons, the Uzu katanas. It is no surprise to me that she offered her newborn child to help stop the beast, since she knew a Jinchuriki could be a force for good. Thank you, Hiyashi-sama, Naruto replied. Not many people in this village can tell the difference between a demon and his jailer. It is nice to know that the all-seeing eyes of the Hyuga clan are different. Nice one, Gaki, complimenting them while at the same time saying that they can't live up to their reputation if they willfully ignore what you really are. I wonder if it was Hinata or Neji who suggested that line to you. My money is on Neji, Tsunade thought. So, will you accept my godson as an acceptable husband for your eldest Hinata? I do, Hiyashi said. I stand in place of the deceased Hitomi and I gladly accept in her place, Haruka said. I accept Naruto-kun's proposal, Hinata said, and surprising everyone there, leaned forward and gave Naruto a firm kiss on the lips. Now what will we tell Yamada-sama? One elder whispered to the one sitting next to him, Hyuga Norio. We promised him the young Hyuga girl for a bride. Who would have expected this? Unfortunately for them, Hiyashi overheard them. Then you are in hot water, from both him and me when I find out what you mean, the clan head though. He looked at his daughter and her fiancé proudly. The conditions have been met. Are you aware of all of them, Naruto-san, Hokage-sama? Yes, Hiyashi-sama, Naruto replied, that this must be a true marriage. We need to be fully husband and wife, not just in name, and Hinata-hime must be carrying my child by her 16th birthday. Is there any chance we could move that back to her 17th or 18th? It is just that 16 is rather young to become parents. No, we will not budge on any of the conditions, Hyuga Norio said. When will the wedding take place? Jiraiya-sama will be taking both Naruto and Hinata on a training trip when we return to Konoha. He is expected to return in about a month. Let's give the two a chance to adjust to married life before we turn them over to the super pervert I call teammate and friend, Tsunade suggested. How about in 1 week's time, here at the clan compound? Haruka asked. They will even be able to spend their wedding night here, but we will need to make sure they complete the act, another elder insisted. Neji had to keep from laughing at the new shade of red that both Naruto and Hinata invented. Hinata then managed to find her voice. Will any of our friends be permitted to attend? Only if they can keep their mouths shut, Tsunade said. I want to keep this quiet. It is very likely that if people hear about this, they will make the jump and connect you two to a famous pair on Ninja with the names Uzumaki and Hyuga. Who do you suggest? Not to mention, I don't want it widely known that I allowed to 13-year-olds to get married. Aburame Shino is a teammate of mine and very good at keeping secrets, Hinata said. I consider him to be like another brother to me. He is away with his father right now, training in more of his clan techniques, but he should return the day after tomorrow. Nara Shikamaru knows when not to speak and he is also a friend of mine, Naruto suggested. Shimoto Tenten also knows of our engagement, it would be good to invite her as well. That does sound acceptable. Aburame Shino, Nara Shikamaru, and Shimoto Tenten are excellent shinobi with good reputations. Are you sure that you don't want to invite your teammate, Haruno Sakura? Hiyashi asked. No, not only will she be out of town at the time, she is also a bit of a gossip queen and we want this kept quiet for now, Naruto replied. Okay, we will only invite the friends you have suggested and their parents, Hiyashi stated. Your marriage will be formally announced on Hinata's 16th birthday. We can just say that Kushina and Hitomi made their husbands sign a betrothal contract between the two before Naruto's birth, which explains the young marriage. Good idea, Tsunade replied, and then glanced at Hiyashi with narrowed eyes. Anyone who knew Kushina and Hitomi would believe that. The two were such good friends, it makes sense that they would want their children to end up together. Wait, is there an actual contract already? I can so see the possibility. It also explains who Hiyashi so quickly came up with the idea. I believe we have reached an agreement, Haruka announced, much to the shock and dismay of various clan elders. The wedding of Uzumaki Naruto and Hyuga Hinata will take place 1 week from today.